again, it is I, Derek from Tomcat Gas Training, and welcome to another video all about what's in this box. But before we get into this box, please could you take some time to subscribe because it helps the channel. Don't forget to hit that notification bell because not even I know when I'm uploading videos. And don't forget to give me that thumbs up. Anyway, as usual, that's enough waffling and messing around, so let's get into this box. Bubble wrap, that's all I said. Anyway, are you ready for the big reveal? Ta-da! Hey, right way round as well. TESTO. So TESTO have sent me a flue gas analyzer, and I've been waiting 2 years for them to send me this because I think they didn't think I had enough subscribers to be able to loan me one. So this analyzer has been loaned to me from TESTO. So a big thank you to Julie Wells and the guys at TESTO for letting me borrow this today to be able to do this video. Let's have a look and see what's in the box. Let's get it zipped open there and find out what they've sent me. I like to say it's a fancy case, proper fancy. So we peel this bit back, that's behind here. Calibration certificate. And it's calibrated till October 2022, so that's a good start. No printer, not sent me a printer, but they have sent me a charger. So this flappy little thing also has a zip here, so if I unzip that, we've got another pocket. I've actually got two. We've got this one here, and this one where we could actually put our paperwork and our calibration certificate in a safe place. So that's this little cover. They've sent me the 300, and I believe this is a demonstration model, so I don't know if it's set up or what's going on with it. And they've sent me this probe, and they did say that the probe will be slightly shorter than the one you guys would get when you buy them, but it doesn't look very short, does it? Anyway, that's what they've sent me, so let's get a closer look at the unit and find out what features this has to offer. Now let's navigate around this analyzer. So what's the first thing we notice? It does have a kind of a rubber boot, but not a removable one like everybody else does. So wonder how strong it is if you drop it, but I'm not going to drop this because it doesn't belong to me. And you can see on the front we've got what looks like an Android phone with the usual things you would find. I'm guessing the speakers and stuff don't work on the phone or the camera, but they might do. I doubt it, but there you go. We've got the going back arrows and stuff for what you would find on a phone. So if we start down this side, we can see first of all here we've got the USB port. So here's the charger, and that's the connection for the charger, which obviously just clips in there like that. So that's how you charge the thing. So also here you can see we've got the trap, and this trap goes right the way across the back, and you can see it's also on this side, and we'll look at that in a minute. But the trap is a full bowl going right the way across, and you can see there's maximum levels, but you never let your bowl fill full of water. So that's pretty much it on this side. You can see the trap and you can see the USB connection. So if we flip onto the other side, you can see we have this here is what they call the gas outlet. So the air flows in, and you'll see where the air flows in a bit and comes out there. This is the on-off button, and you only need to just touch it a little bit and it'll turn on. This here is the other side of the trap, like I say, and this is the drain plug. So you can empty your water out your trap via the drain plug. This part doesn't come out. And that's pretty much it from that side. If we look on the top, there isn't anything, only this here is like where you can put a carrying handle. So nothing on the top. If we look on the bottom, what we've got here is, so this is what they call the Ambient Air Probe. So that must be your air in. So you've got 1 and 2 connections here, which are for your auxiliary probes and stuff. So like flow and return temperatures. This is where you would connect your manometer tube for doing a tightness test. And this one here is where the flue gas analyzer goes to. And you can see it's quite a substantial socket. So if we look at the other end of the probe, you can see it actually clicks on, and that is never going to come off until you twist it and pull it off. So that's probably the most positive way of connecting the actual probe I've ever seen on an analyzer. That is never going to pull off. So that's the connections on the bottom. Now if we look on the back, we've got magnets. Now I don't know if all 4 of these are magnets, so let's see if they are all 4 magnets. So while I'm in the kitchen, I might as well use a spoon. So that's definitely a magnet. That's definitely a magnet. So's that. So we've got 4 magnets to hold it on. And they can see they feel pretty strong. But we'll have a look at that when we stick it on the side of the boiler. So let's quickly test these magnets then. You can actually feel that being sucked towards the boiler. So, and it does take some effort to pull it down and up. So I can pretty much say those magnets are good ones. So that's pretty much what you get on this TESTO 300. Now, I think you will agree this looks quite a big unit, like a big chunky piece of equipment. So let's give you a bit of a size comparison. So this one is the new Kane 458S. This is the DC710. Yes, that one without the screen, where you have to use your mobile phone. And this is the Analyzer ST. And you can see it fits pretty much the size of the screen. So that's a quick comparison on size with other analyzers. So before we move on to turning the machine on, let's have a look at the probe. Now we've seen the plug at the end, so we've seen how that works. So let's have a look at the probe itself. So as usual, the probe has a stop or a seal for when you put into the analyzer port. But this one comes all the way off, and I don't really like that idea when they come all the way off because you end up losing them. So some of the manufacturers actually make the end bigger here so it doesn't fall off, but TESTO haven't. Now if we look at the nitty-gritty end, this end, so we've got this clear cover. If I just twist it anti-clockwise, it comes off and it exposes the filter. So you can see the filter is tapered and it does feel like paper, you know, the papery ones. I don't know whether it is or not. It feels a bit waxy. It's quite hard. Like I say, you can see it's tapered and the fat end goes into there. You can also see there is a seal in there for the cap. The tapered end goes into the cap and you just click it back on. That is basically all you get. Now this has got the shorter tube, I believe. They've sent me the shorter one because this is a demo one. And this is only 750mm long, I think, but I think it's twice the length on the one what you would get. And I believe there are 2 versions of this handle, where there's one where you can press a button and this part comes apart, but I haven't got that one, I've got this one. So that is your probe and handle. Now let's get this party started. Let's actually turn it on. So this is our on off button. And you can see we've got a full colour screen by the looks of it, like you would get on a mobile phone. So it's coming up with the TESTO logo. Still taking its time coming on. Oh, there you go, screen's coming on. It will get there in a second. It's now loading. And you can see now it's going into flue gas analyzer mode and it's doing a purge. So it's just going through its purge sequence. So you've seen this analyzer does take a little bit of a while to turn on initially, and then it takes 30 seconds for it to do its purge for the flue gas analyzer, but it does have a quick off and on function. So if you just press the button once, it turns itself off. Press it again, it turns itself on instantly and don't go through the purge sequence. Also, what it'll do as well is if you leave it on for too long, depends on what setting you've set it to, it will shut down automatically on its own but won't turn off, and it just puts the date and stuff on the front screen, and then you just press the screen and it rings it back up again. You don't even need to press a button. So that's a nifty little idea they've got after you've had the initial turn on. So you could actually leave it like that all day without turning it off. So quite a good idea. Now we're actually finally ready to use this machine. But first thing is, look how small those numbers are. If you've got dodgy mince pies like me, you can hardly see it. But it has a little trick, because remember this is a mobile phone here. So if we just get our fingers, we can actually make the numbers bigger. So you can now see, even my dodgy eyes can see that. Does look not central, so let's just bring it in a bit. There you go, that's pretty good. You can now see the numbers very, very clearly by just pinching the screen. Nice trick. Now let's see what all these little icons do. So first of all, down here at the bottom, we've got 6 icons. Now if I press on this little gear one, it brings up our options, which says edit measurement 0 in gas sensor, averaging on. I'll show you the editing thing in a minute. 0 in the gas sensor is just you press it and then it zeroes all the sensors and goes through the purge procedure. The average on, we don't know whether this average on is when you're taking a room sampling. So if you do know what average on is, let us know in the comments down below so we can find out what it is. But I personally think it's when you're doing a room and it takes the average of your test. But we're not going to go through that because it goes through a procedure. But if I go on to this, you can see all our different measurements are on the screen. We can change the location of them, which is really good. So if I press on this temperature one at the top, because I don't want it on the top, I'm going to move it down below ratio and drop it in. We'll take the other temperature one and again drop it below that temperature one there. And if I press confirm, it's changed it. So you can see we've got our oxygen first, then our CO2 ratio, and then our temperatures efficiency. So you can actually put them in whichever order you want. So that's a nifty little trick. I like that. Now the next button you can see here starts all your process off. This one here, if you click on it, it will allow you to share it, print it, save it, or finish your protocol. So we'll look at that later when we're actually doing the tests. So let's press cancel. If we go to the top now, you can see here we've got a flame. So if we click on the flame, it says we can do flue gas in, draft, CO, smoke, differential pressures, and so on and so on. So you can pick whichever test you want to do, like tightness test in let by. Well, again, we'll look at those later, but we won't flue gas analyzing. You can see here we've also got the battery indicator as well to tell us whether we're charged or not. You can see if we click on where it says natural gas, it brings up butane, propane, light oil, kerosene, coal, all the other tests we're going to do. And if we click on the main menu button, it brings up the main menu button for us. Now, when the unit is turned on, we get this green light here in the trap, in the bowl. The reason for this green light is to show up in the bowl the water levels for you. That's, well, one of the reasons I think for there. Also, when this is being charged here, this has a flashing red light when it's charging and a solid red light when it's finished charging. Now they say always charge the unit when you first get it and it takes between 5 and 6 hours. I don't charge it when the temperature is below 0 degrees or above 35. There is also an indication for the battery here at the top, just next to the time, which is completely wrong that time, but anyway, there you go. First test we're going to do is we're going to do a tightness test. First thing I need to do is set the analyzer up to tightness test. So I need to go into this little flame up the top, click onto that, scroll down to the bottom, because the first test we're going to always do is let by, isn't it? So we click on let by. And now it's switching. And it's come up with the let by test. Now, first thing, let's make it a little bit bigger. Now, first thing is, it says stability time. This analyzer is set up for commercial as well as domestic, so we don't need that one for domestic. So we need to click on it, but we need to set a minimum time, and the minimum time is a second. So I need to go 0, 0, and then click on that one and go 0, 1, and then click on the green, and it's now set it for 1 second. That's important, otherwise it will go for a 1 minute temperature stabilisation, which isn't needed. Now, next thing I need to do is click on the little circle down at the bottom, and it now says, please make the system pressure free for zeroing. So I haven't got it connected to my gas meter yet, so I need to click on OK. And it'll come up and tell me it's zeroed, and it's zeroing as finished. So it now says, please apply the test pressure. So I need to click on that. I now need to connect this end to the gas meter. There we go. Next thing I need to do now is, I need to put some gas into it. So we can see I have already set it to a duration of 1 minute. It's set on natural gas. It has a maximum operating pressure of 10 millibars. And it has a minimum of 0.25. So it's got to go between those pressures. And at the moment I've got it set at 0. So let's slowly open the ECV, if I can see what I'm doing. Which has jumped to 19 millibars. Never mind. But it does say minus figure. And I don't know why. Because there's only one test point. Anyway, pull that off. There you go. We're at 8 millibars. Now, next thing I need to do is press this little triangle on its side in the middle. What it'll do is it'll first do this second. So that's the first thing you'll see will happen. It's now done that test, and it's now saying it's doing the test duration. And you can see this just at the top here. So we've got 5 seconds left. Okay. It's now saying measurement saved under address locations. So, at the bottom down here now it says next. So we now can see the results. It says we started at 8.1 and we finished at 8.1. So that is a pass, isn't it? So we need to press next, and it's now saying it's being saved under the address location. Okay, now then, what I need to do now is I need to do a tightness test. But if I wanted to, I could click on that little icon, I can wake my phone up, and I could press share, and it finds your phone via Bluetooth. Okay, so I could have done that if I wanted to, but we've got another test to finish, haven't we? So I need to click back, and I need to go back up to the top here, scroll down now till I get up to tightness test number 1, but I need to now remove my hose again. Now you can see the screen again is quite small, so I can just hopefully make it a little bit bigger. And what we've got here is we've got a stability time of 1 minute. It says a measurement time of 2 minutes, and it says tightness press target 20 millibars. Well, actually a tightness test is between 20 and 21 millibars, so if I click on that Again, I can change it to 21, press the tick, and it's now changed it to 21. And we've got a minimum of 0.25, which we don't need to change, and then it's got our actual pressure there. So, first thing I need to do now is press the center button again, and it now says, please make the system pressure free from zeroing. And that's why we've got the tube taken off. So if I press on here, OK, it's now zeroing. It now says, please apply test pressure. So we need to click onto there. Again, I need to put this onto my gas meter. And again, I need to add some pressure in there. So you can see I've got 23 in there, so I just need to drop it down a bit, between 20 and 21. So you can see I'm just over the 20 now, so we're at 20.1. So I need to press the center again, and what it's going to do now is it's going to go through its stabilization time starts now, and you can see at the top here it's counting down now its temperature stabilization like it did on the last one. So we've got 5 seconds to go. So it's now doing test time starts now. So it's now counting up now for the 2 minutes. So we're just under the 5 seconds left. Okay, we now can see it's finished, and it now says results, question mark, OK, not OK, so we need to press OK. So now you can see the full screen. So if we scroll up, so we can bring the bottom down, you can see we started at 20.2, we finished at 20.2, and our difference was 0, and because we pressed result was OK, we've got the OK result there. Next thing we need to do is press this next button. Now at the bottom of the screen now you can see these 2 icons. It's got this circle with a back arrow going back, and we've got this little arrow going upwards. So if we press on the arrow going upwards, it now asks us, do we want to share it, do we want to print it, or do we want to do the finish protocol? Now obviously if we want to share it, I'm sharing it with my phone. If we want to print it, I'll be sending it to the wireless printer. But this finish protocol, if I press on that, it's now going to load the information, and we've now got this protocol now. It says format and print. So it says, please select one of the multiple file types. Reports will be generated and automatically attached to any email or sent to the printer after pressing send. So we can either do a CSV or we can do a PDF. So we've got it on PDF, and we can now put all the details of the customer in here. So we can put comments in there, and we can scroll up and we see we've got our tightness test and our let by already ticked for us, ready to send or print. So at the bottom here you can see we've got print, we've got save. So this little icon here means we can send or save the report, and we can even get our customer to sign it. How cool is that? Job's a good one. Job's a squiggly one. So that's how you carry out a tightness test using this TESTO 300. What do you think? Put it in the comments down below if you think it's a faff or you think it's good. Now that is the end of this video on this TESTO 300. So if you've liked this video, why don't you give me that thumbs up, or leave a constructive comment down below. If you're not subscribed to my channel, why not? Please subscribe. And don't forget to hit that notification bell, because you want YouTube to tell you when I'm uploading videos. Because I think you're finding out now at the moment it's just Mondays. Anyway, all I've got left to say is, thanks for listening. thanks for watching, and catch the next video about this where I put it up against another analyzer. Cheers guys.